What is up, Vibe Tribe? It's your boy Matt Havis back at it again with the Dental Student Vibes podcast. Today we have a hot and fresh interview out for you starring the one and only Dr. David Carter. Dr. David has been a resident of Augusta, Georgia since 1970. He is a graduate of Westminster High School, the University of Georgia, and the Medical College of Georgia School of Dentistry. He also received his certificate of orthodontics from the Medical College of Georgia. In 2009, Dr. David was invited to become a member of the nationally recognized Shulman Study Group. He holds dual appointments as Associate Clinical Professor in the Department of Orthodontics, Medical College of Georgia School of Dentistry, and the Department of Surgery, Division of Plastic Surgery, Medical College of Georgia School of Medicine. He is on the staff of Medical College of Georgia Hospitals and Clinics, University Hospital, and Walton Rehabilitation Hospital. He is a member of the American Dental Association, the Southern Association of Orthodontists, and the Eastern District Dental Society. He was also elected as a fellow in the World Federation of Orthodontics. He speaks nationally and internationally for Ormco and Invisalign. He is married to the former Linda Franks of Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. They have two sons, Brian and John. So, we sit down with Dr. David today, and he gives us the full down low on everything you need to know to be a successful dental practitioner in today's day and age, from business tips to the one and only resource that he himself has created, the Forever Aligned Club. Check that out. Check out the resource. It's a great way to grow your practice and add a good way for residual income while you're practicing dentistry. So, as always, follow us on Instagram at dental.student.vibes. Give us a like, comment, review. You guys know the drill. I talk about this all the time. We want to hear from you to make this the best podcast that we can make it for you. As always, stay safe and vibe on.
Welcome back to another episode of the Dental Student Vibes podcast. I'm Seth Kalish. I'm here with the boys, Matt, Anthony, and Cole. And now we have the ortho prophet.
The mindful mentor.
That's right, Cole.
Mindful mentor.
Dr. David Carter. Dr. Carter, how are we today?
Hey, everybody. Thanks, guys. We are really good. Appreciate you asking.
Awesome. So Dr. Carter is an orthodontist in Augusta, Georgia. Been practicing for 30 years. One of the smartest orthodontists I've ever talked to. Dr. Carter, thank you so much for being here. And I can't wait to talk to you because, you know, we've been talking for a few weeks now, a few months, and you've got so much to say, and it's so valuable, the criteria, like all the information that you have to offer to our listeners. So,
well, thanks, man. I appreciate it, guys. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself because it's kind of a long story. So this is going to be more like just a little discussion, one-sided discussion. But I am, like Seth was saying, I'm an orthodontist. I practice in Augusta, Georgia. I actually have 5 different offices. I practice in South Carolina and Georgia because Augusta is right on the Savannah River that separates the two states. And if you're a golfer, you know where Augusta is. It's about if you're not a golfer, we're 2 hours due east of Atlanta. And I'm a second generation orthodontist. My dad was actually an aeronautical engineer, and he was not satisfied with his lifestyle. You know, back in the 50s and 60s, he was making about $30-something thousand a year, which you can add another zero to that today, and he was making really good income. But he was such a highly sought after aeronautical engineer by NASA and General Electric back when they were designing jet engines in the space program, that we basically were almost like military family, but we weren't really military. We had to travel from city to city, stay there for a year or two, go to the next place. And so my dad was like, look, I got 4 kids, not a good quality of life. And so he went and took a career placement exam. And it's one of those day-long things where some of you guys may have done this and said, you know, these are things I like to do in my lifestyle. And so you click all these things, then you get results back, and it says, you should be this. And it said he should be a doctor. He was like, where'd that come from? I never thought about being a doctor, but it sounds like a pretty good idea to me. So he started trying to figure out, do I want to be a physician, a dentist, a chiropractor, a podiatrist or whatever. And so he stumbled upon dentistry. He goes, wait, that's kind of like little engineering, a lot of mechanical stuff, work with my hands. Back then it was slide rule. There was no computers. He worked on one of the very first computers that was ever created, and it took up like a whole floor of the building, and to get, to answer little simple questions. So once he decided he wanted to go to dental school, because again, he wanted a better quality of life for his family. It was tough. 4 kids, he went back when he was 40. So it's like, he was older than most of his instructors, but he was tired of traveling around. He wanted a better quality of life, which dentistry really does give you a better quality of life if you work it correctly. Most people I'll say a lot of people that go into dentistry, they go into it for the financial reasons. It's a great business. Listen, you can own your own business. You're a doctor, you can control your hours and stuff. But unfortunately, a lot of people fall into the trap of they want to, they're chasing the almighty dollar. They believe what they see on TV, and I got to have the biggest house and the fastest cars and, the whole lifestyle of the rich and famous, the Kardashians. I'm like, who are the Kardashians anyway? Right. They're nobody. The father was. And what did he do? He got OJ out of jail, right? So, they're famous just for being famous. So because my dad changed careers, he was able to change his whole lifestyle. But when he was going through dental school with 4 kids, he missed out on all 4 of us for 6 years, 4 years of dental school and just 2 years of ortho back then. I know it's 3 years in most programs now. So my growing up years, he really wasn't around a lot when I was like in elementary school, and even into like junior high and high school, he was getting his practice set up. So I'm glad he did it, but he did miss out on a lot of stuff. And so I know that, when it came time for me to try to figure out what I wanted to do, I was like, well, that sounds like a pretty good gig, go in and take over his practice. I actually had been accepted to medical school. I thought I wanted to be a sports medicine guy and do orthopedic surgery. And my brother, who's a physician, he goes, you don't want to do this. There's something called managed care, and it's horrible. Please don't do this. I was like, okay, if my brother says don't do it, I shouldn't do it. And so I obviously went to dental school. And as I was going through dental school and wanted to go into orthodontics, I was like, this is a very interesting thing, because when I was going through, if you weren't number 1 or 2 in your class, you weren't going to get in any place. Okay. And it's probably still competitive, but there's so many orthodontic residencies now that it's like, it's pay to play. If you got enough money, write a check. Hey, yeah, guess what? I got accepted into residency. Why? Because your daddy got enough money to write a check or something. I don't know, So, but I did know it was going to give me a good lifestyle, and I could kind of create a life and have my work fashioned around my life, not my life fashioned around work. Okay. It's very subtle, but there's a very big difference. So when I started working with my dad, I didn't work for him, but just for a few years, and I bought him out quickly because I was like, I want to create my own lifestyle. So I went from working 4.5 days to 3. And everybody goes, why'd you do that? I was like, because I had 2 kids, 2 boys that I wanted to be around. I didn't want to miss out on their childhood like my dad did. Because my dad said, that's one regret. I'm like, dude, flip a coin. You flipped a coin. You changed all of our careers and where we ended up living and who we married and everything. So, God was going ahead of him, preparing where he should be. But I knew I didn't want to be like that, like my dad, and not be around to watch my kids grow up. So working 3 days a week, my dad was still looking at the numbers. He's like, you're making more money working 3 days a week than 4.5 like I did. How are you doing it? I was like, I'm working smarter, not harder, Dad. The technology came out right then in orthodontics, and I'll get into some other stuff and I talked to you guys earlier about the technology in dentistry. When the first braces that came out that were called passive self-ligating braces basically is a brace where you put a wire into it and it closes around the wire and creates a tube, so there's almost no friction between the brace and the wire. And it did amazing things. The teeth would just really straighten out a whole lot faster in a lot less time. And I was like, and we were one of the first test sites for it, because I've been in these research and development groups. I've got patents. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is working so good. All I know is when I put the braces on, they come back the next time, their teeth are almost straight. I mean, it's like, it used to take me 8 or 10 months to do when I'm doing it 8 or 10 weeks.
Wow.
I was almost guilty going, what the heck am I going to do now, man? They're getting pretty darn straight. But it proved that there was technology out there that could simplify my life. It can make me more efficient, but also make me more profitable. And that, at the end of the day, if you can get the happy balance, okay, between work and finances and time, that's what you need to strive for. So as all you dental students and recent grads that are watching this, I would encourage you to create a life that really checks all the marks off for you. And if you want to spend time with your family and have a good income and not drive yourself crazy, because dentistry is the second highest rate of suicide of any business, followed just right behind air traffic controllers. Why is that? Because we work ourselves to death. We're just these little, we grind the teeth down and we do all these things. So just choose a lifestyle that you want to live, and then you'll fashion your business around your life. So my dad exited really quickly because he was in his he was 65, and he's like, look, I'm done, buy me out and I'm out the door. Okay. So he left, and I was like, well, I know how to straighten teeth, but I don't know how to run this business, Dad. And he goes, well, nobody showed me either. He goes, you'll figure it out, and luckily there were some systems in place. But one of the big things that I didn't do back then that I would strongly encourage all of y'all to do, and that is to figure out, know your own finances well enough so that you know it better than your accountant, okay? Mm-hmm. Everybody just assumes an accountant's going to figure it out for you. No, he's not, or she's not. Your accountant has 100 clients. They don't care about your money. They're going to just push that pencil and fall into the box that says this is how you should do it. So Blair Hudgens is on this. He's not going to talk. He's listening in on this. He is my CPA. And Blair knows very well. He used to be one of the accountants for the Tennessee Titans and the Nashville Predators. And Blair is really, he's very savvy on setting up corporations where you can legally avoid taxes. Make sure that you understand avoiding and evading are not the same thing. The IRS actually tells you, if you read the tax code like I've read, it tells you how to avoid taxes legally. Okay. Evading is not paying any tax, just saying the hell with it, I'm not paying. Avoiding just means that you understand your finances well enough that you can set yourself up to be financially successful. So I'm going to tell you, this is the one pearl that I'm going to give everybody on this Zoom call is set up your own personal management corporation and have your business, your dental business, pay your personal management corporation to manage your business. Okay?
Gotcha.
Then you have your same dental business pay you as an employee, not very much. Find out whatever the cheapest dentist you could hire, pay yourself that, because that is taxed as a W-2 earned income tax. Okay.
Right. So David, let me just reiterate that real quick, just so I got it right. So you have your own personal management corporation, and then you also have your dental practice, right? And correct. Your dental practice is paying your personal management corporation, and your personal management corporation pays you. Is that correct?
No.
I got it backwards. Okay.
So your dental practice is here, and your dental practice is going to write a check every month to two entities. One to you as a W-2 employee, one to your family management company. Okay. So now that money is a business expense to your dental practice, and you're paying another business to manage your practice.
Gotcha.
Okay. But that same management company is going to manage your life. Okay. So now it's really easy to justify everything that you show the IRS that you take as personal, like cars and health insurance or trips or whatever, real estate. It all is from your personal management company. Okay.
Right.
So Blair Hudgens will be doing another talk on this later. We're going to next Friday, we're planning on having another webinar to deep dive on all this stuff. And I know I'm limited on time, so I'll try to go to the next item, but hopefully everybody understands that you just, my management company is called Carter Family Enterprises, LLC. Okay. And that's all it is. And so we just have another bank account that we write checks out of for anything that's not related to my dental practice. and I've avoided a lot of taxes. And just for a quick, this is how it works. If I was to pay myself $500,000 a year and told the IRS that was what I made as a W-2 employee, the IRS is going to smile and say, thank you, give me $200,000 of that.
Exactly.
Because you're in a 39% tax bracket. And so what you just did was you gave the Uncle Sam $200,000 for doing what? Remind me what they do. Why'd they deserve that $200,000? No. But everybody does it that way. And the accountants go, but that's the way everybody does it. I'm like, well, don't fall in line. Don't be a sheep. Don't follow them over the cliff. Be smart. And so Blair Hudgens will be doing an online presentation with me next Friday, and we'll go on a deep dive on this.
Right. So I got a question for you for that topic. And this is something we'll bring up next Friday is, okay, so most of the dental students and new grads, it's near impossible buying a practice right out of school or doing a startup, right? So how did those students who are either going into associateships or DSOs, private practice, mentorships, that sort of thing, how did they set up their own private practice or private family corporation like you did and have the senior dentist, whoever, pay their management corporation?
Right. Good question.
That's a tricky one, right?
That's a tricky one because that's not how I did it.
Right.
But I would just tell you that you should always be a 1099 independent contractor if you can. Okay. Otherwise, if you just say, oh, well, just, if you're going to pay me $250,000 a year, that sounds great. No, it's not great. I promise you that's not a great thing because before you get your hands on $250,000, the company who's hired you as a W-2 employee, they're going to have to take out payroll taxes, your income tax, everything. You're going to go, wow, and I'll make more money next year and that'll be better. No, that'll be worse because the more money you make the next year, the more Uncle Sam gets his hands on. Okay.
Right. And so work smarter, not harder, get that stuff set up and
yes. And so anybody has questions on that, next week we'll talk to Blair. Blair runs our company called The Good Steward. And so we teach people how to be good and smart stewards of the money that they get from business and how to put it away for a rainy day because you will need one. And so we can deep dive on that later. I hope I answered your question. That was a kind of a deeper question. That would take a lot of time to answer.
That's for next time.
Yep. So back to technology. I want to just talk a little bit about how you set yourself up for business success. Let's say you had your own practice. We're dentists. Raise your hand if you like gadgets. If you're a dentist, you probably love gadgets, right? Got to have the newest thing, right? Because we love technology. Look at this. Look at us. We're on Zoom right now. Look at us. Look what we can do, right? Okay. Don't buy the latest technology. It's like buying a car. I mean, when you drive the new car off the lot, the value of that car it depreciates instantly. Now it's a used car. Okay. So be smart with technology. Don't buy something don't let a salesman sell you on something that you don't really need. Okay. In fact, like I said before, I think the future really is communal or fractional ownership of stuff and co-owning it as a corporation with other dentists. Okay. So like if you had if you were centrally located, you have some buddies around you, y'all wanted to get a cone beam CT. Okay. You may go, well, I want one for my office. I want one for mine. Great. All y'all just fall in line and buy one for $150,000. It's just going to sit there most of the day. Okay. Form a corporation, buy one and send your patients over there to get scanned one day. Okay. Don't fall in the trap of buying a lot of expensive equipment unless you need it. But I will tell you a little bit about technology, going back to orthodontics, how the next thing that came along after the passive self-ligating braces, which means just a self-closing brace. The next thing that came out was Invisalign. Okay. Invisalign was a game changer. They came out before we even knew what CAD/CAM programs really were. You got to remember, computers were barely around when I was in dental school, back in the 80s. And so something like CAD/CAM and 3D printing and 3D scanning, if you would have said that to me, I'm like, I'm a pretty smart guy, but I don't even know what that is really. I heard about that. And they go, well, it's going to be in dental. I'm like, what? I mean, who's going to do that? Well, these guys that started Invisalign, they weren't dentists. They were just some really smart guys that said, Zia Chisti founded Invisalign. He had a tooth move and he asked his orthodontist, I got his tooth moved. Can you fix it with one of those little clear retainers? And the orthodontist said, sure, I'm sure I could do it. So he took an impression, poured up the model, cut the tooth out, repositioned it, made an Essex, suck down retainer, gave it to Zia, saw him back a few weeks later, the tooth was straight. And Zia asked the doctor, he says, hey, if you can do one tooth, do you think you could do multiple teeth? And the doctor said, yeah, I'm sure you could. Great. Thank you for that $1 billion idea you just gave Zia Chisti. Smart guy.
Wow.
He knew a guy, right? Who knew how to do CAD cams and how to move, so they developed a software program. It was years in the making. They just didn't do it overnight. But they developed a way to move teeth with plastic. And they could have stopped there and said, you know what? This is just a really neat way to move teeth, just to shift them here or shift them there. But what they really thought was they thought they had an alternative to braces, okay? And I'll just tell you, I used to speak for Invisalign all over the world, okay? So, and I used to present cases that I treated that people said, you can't do that with Invisalign. I was like, see, I'm just from Georgia. I'm just dumb enough to not even know that, and I did it. So I'm sorry, but I did it with Invisalign. And so Invisalign loved me. They're like, hey, show them some more cases that you did, all right? So all I did was I just shared the Kool-Aid with everybody else, and they jumped on the Invisalign train. Not a good business model using Invisalign. Great technology. You can straighten anything with Invisalign, okay? But just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And so, unfortunately, we fall into the trap of thinking, well, Invisalign's got and other companies too, they have these unlimited aligner products. For this much money, you can have unlimited aligners. Sounds great, right? Here's the thing. They know exactly what the average number of aligners are. So they tell us it's unlimited, but guess what? They've got all the data that says, oh, I know exactly I know he's probably only going to use X number of aligners, but that doctor is going to pay me $1,900, for an unlimited set of aligners. And now you got other companies that are offering basically a poor man's version of Invisalign, saying, we'll give you unlimited for $800, $900. I'm like, still too much. That should be the price to the customer. And so as I was speaking for Invisalign, started hearing, about other companies trying to get in the business, and the patents were about ready to run out. And I was like, their two main patents are going to run out, and it's going to be the Wild West, which that's what's happened now. Probably everybody on this webinar has heard of Smile Direct Club. Okay. Like it or not, it made us realize that direct to consumer products like aligners is a very viable business. Okay. Unfortunately, they got the wrong business model. They try to sell aligners in a fixed fee schedule. Hey, use Smile Direct Club, or Candid Co. or whatever, and it's $1,900, which I think is really basically just sticking it to Invisalign, because that's a lab bill that they charge doctors for unlimited, right? Now these pseudo aligner companies are selling direct to consumer aligners for $1,900. Okay, about the same price as my lab bill. But what they don't tell the customer is that they're very selective on who they treat. They only want to treat somebody who's got about 6 months of movement, okay? Because what they know is anything past about 6 months, compliance drops off, effectiveness of the aligners drops off, because they're not really working with the doctor to put little attachments, little bumps on the teeth to help control the movement. It just doesn't work past about 6 or 8 months. But also from a financial standpoint, they charge the customer $2,000. Well, it's $1,895. Most of these companies are about the same. And so what they do is they'll charge the patient that much money for a simple case that's done in 6 months, but they finance it over 24 months. Not a good business model, okay? If you're an investor, you probably figured out real quick that after 6 or 8 months of treatment and their teeth are straight, they're going to cancel their credit cards. And so Smile Direct Club is sitting on a huge pile of uncollected debt because they thought they were really smart. And it's not just them. These other aligner companies that try to copy them, same thing. They made mistakes. They should have gone through dentists. They didn't. They thought everybody should be $2,000. Go to their Facebook page, and if they haven't deleted it, see how many patients are saying, can't you just, I got one tooth. That's not a $2,000 problem. I can't find anybody that'll fix one tooth. Okay, well, they're the only game in town. Everybody thinks it's $2,000. I'm like, okay, if you go to your dentist can do it for less than $2,000. Do an open-ended contract. Pay as you go, treat as you go. All right. And so as I saw all this unraveling with Invisalign's patents and stuff and a direct-to-consumer world, because all y'all grew up with the internet and Amazon and Netflix and everything, I realized that we needed to have a direct-to-consumer type of business platform that we dentists could get behind and do what these aligner companies do. And so we created a platform called Forever Align Club. My shirt will.
There you go. Forever Align Club.
Forever Align Club, little plug for my company. It's a platform that any dentist can use. Okay, it's free to be a provider of Forever Align Club products. All you have to do is contact, Forever Align Club. We'll get you set up as a provider in your area, list you on the doctor locator, and we'll drive patients to your practice. You can sign up your own patients for it. But basically what it is it's a system that we've filed for patent protection on before Smile Direct Club was even a thought. Okay. This has been years in the making that we've been doing this. So that any dentist that wants to use our platform, they can either make aligners themselves and use the platform to get paid, or the platform will find the least expensive, high quality aligners or retainers or whitening trays or whatever the patient needs. Products like that. And the patients, it's a marketplace, basically. It's an online marketplace. And so because we've got IP, I had to decide, does David want to benefit from this, or does David want to give back to the industry, the profession that helped me go over the last 30 years? I'm like, pretty clear that's what I got to do. As a good steward, I got this platform is for any dentist to use for direct to consumer products. And one of the hot ones obviously is aligners. The problem is, these aligner companies, these pseudo aligner companies, they should have gone through dentists and said, hey, dentist, why don't you just do like a 5 or 10 aligner system? And the patients can afford that. You start just moving teeth and just move them until the patient's happy. When they're happy, they're done. And then they go into retention. Their teeth are going to, they're going to need retainers for that. A lot of them are going to, probably lose their retainers. And then when they lose their retainers,
there it is. Shift happens.
Shift happens, baby.
We got the hat. By the way, can you go on Forever Align Club and pick up some of those hats? Because I need to get one of those. I need to get one.
So, and we have the U.S. trademark on that term, by the way. Shift happens. So
right.
It's very fitting for what we do as a company. But really, the whole shift is happening. A lot of shift is happening in the dental industry right now. With the whole COVID thing and the shutting down of dental offices in entire states. A lot of general dentists looked at orthodontists, because don't forget, I'm an orthodontist. They looked at us and they said, look, y'all are still getting income because our patients pay, every month whether they come in or not. So it had an effect on us, but not as bad as an effect as it did on our general dentist peers. Without actually doing anything, there's no income coming in unless you got insurance checks. Then insurance companies are like, oh, well, we're affected by COVID too, so you're going to have to wait on your payment. All that sucked, And so, which basically made our platform stick out even, as a shining light for any dentist that wants to use it. They go, I want to be a Forever Align Club provider, because the patient can buy stuff on Forever Align Club, and the doctor will get his cut of the patient's pay. Okay, they pay the platform. The platform sends the products on the doctor's behalf, and the doctor makes the difference. He makes the profit off of it. Okay, it's like an Amazon retail store for general dentists. An Amazon retail store for general dentists. People ask me, they say, well, why didn't you just put it on Amazon? I said, they can buy us later on, maybe, or maybe we just keep it to ourselves. Keep it as a dentist controlled platform. And we don't let all these carpetbaggers come down and raid our good thing and tell us what to do. I'm so tired of everybody telling us as dentists what we should and shouldn't do. I'm like, you know what? Let me tell you what you can do. Okay. And we'll take control of our businesses. So a lot of y'all grew up like my kids did. Our government said, you don't need health insurance. Okay. So, which is, health insurance is one thing, but dental insurance really isn't dental insurance. It's a dental benefit. But unfortunately, they get away with calling it insurance, and it really isn't like medical insurance. Y'all know that. It's just
right. It's like a coupon. Yeah. A lot of people call it a coupon.
Exactly. And so more dentists are starting to come up with their membership clubs, but that's an internal thing. What we've created, really, I'll just say it by accident, we created the world's largest online dental membership company. And we did it through Ortho, because there's three things that most patients want. They want white, clean, straight teeth. White, clean, straight teeth. Okay? If you don't believe me, you know what the #1 dental product in the world is? Crest white strips.
It's all about the aesthetics.
It is, but it's also because the reason, and it's Scotch tape with whitening gel in it. That's all it is. Right? That's all it is. But is it effective? Yeah, if you use enough of it, But what happens is, as dentists, we think we can charge a patient, $500 for these whitening trays, and they go, "What if my dog eats this? I've got 8 dogs, or I lost it." They're not going to buy more than 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. And what are they going to do? Walk right down to CVS pharmacy and buy them some white strips for $50. Right. And they'll buy another set of white strips for $50 later. Instead, we should have said, look, your whitening trays are $50. The profit's in the whitening gel, the disposable stuff, not in the trays. Mm-hmm. And we didn't get that. So don't do that. If you're a dentist selling whitening trays for $250 a piece or whatever, I promise you, just because you can get it right now doesn't mean they're going to, as soon as they lose it or it breaks, they won't buy another one. They'll go down and buy Crest white strips. So because we're not very, very good businessmen as dentists, we're the highest paid technicians. We're typically not very smart business people. Because of our inability to realize that opportunity, Crest white strips, Crest said, look how much money we can make, because general dentists, or dentists period, they charge way too much for these whitening trays, which is another product we sell directly to consumer, for the doctors. Our network of labs make these things on behalf of dentists. And our labs are all dental owned. We're owned by dentists that have their own labs, okay? So the quality is gonna be good because we're dentists. We're trying to help make sure we all, we have good quality stuff coming out, not some commercial labs over in Pakistan that's sending you stuff that you don't even know what it looks like, right? It's like, oh my God, look at this all torn up, you can't give that to the patient. So, but going back to the membership-based business, if you have a membership company, that's the new form of insurance. We're not going to call it insurance because it's not. It never should have been called insurance. It should have just been a membership plan, right? Or subscription-based business. I mean, all of y'all watch Netflix, all right? Membership, right? Amazon membership. Amazon they weren't profitable till they started offering Amazon Prime. All right, membership, right? That's when they became profitable.
Yeah. So now, Jeff Bezos started a dental company, I'd be afraid.
Well, maybe he'll buy us one day. Okay.
and then Elon Musk joins in for competition.
Yep.
And if all of you watching this video want fractional ownership of a really big lab, contact me, because Bezos he'll end up buying us. Okay. But lock, stock, and barrel, we'll control it. Okay. So, but then I started thinking, as I'm creating these various platforms, I'm basically unbundling what normally occurs in an orthodontic office, and I'm offering it to general dentists. I'm saying, look, if you're a general dentist and you want to get into ortho, what I've done is I've said, I'm at the end of my career. I'm sitting here going, I want to help dentists do more orthodontics. When I was taught to bend wires, and I was really good at bending wires. Okay. But when Invisalign came along, you don't need to bend wires anymore, right? You can finish with aligners, which is what for 25 years, Invisalign told everybody, you need aligners. And after 25 years, the data shows that removable aligners only have about 7% of the entire orthodontic marketplace.
No,
93% of patients still go through fixed aligners, which are braces, okay, to get them into what we call orthodontic aftercare, which is, anything somebody wants to buy. If they want to buy retainers, they push a button on our website. Mm-hmm. They place an order. It gets sent directly to them. They pay the platform. The platform pays the doctor, says, thank you, doctor. I'm still your patient. I'm buying stuff off your little retail shop, okay, online on Forever Line Club. And it goes directly to the patient. The doctor gets paid, and he picks up his phone and says, look how many people bought stuff last night off my retail store. I like that residual income. That's pretty good.
Right.
All right. But when you start talking about braces, you go, oh, I'm a dentist. I don't know how to do that. It's for orthodontics. I'm like, nah, it's really not that complicated. You know, if I could filter out the easy patients and deliver them to a general dentist, I'd be happy to do that. That's what we're going to be doing, is helping general dentists do more orthodontics. You know,
creating an ortho dentist.
An orthodontist. That's right, Cole. So we want to teach dentists how to be orthodontists. And it doesn't have to be just a general dentist. I mean, if oral surgeons or periodontists want to upright a molar for an implant or something, they can use our aligner system. I mean, it's the same thing. It's better than braces. You can upright a molar with that. But we're talking about full fixed cases. You still need braces to do that. It's still the number one way to do it. And so we're working with a couple really big orthodontic brace manufacturing companies, who I'll need to remain nameless on this, but they want to help general dentists do more orthodontics, and we're going to help them do that. And so a general dentist just needs to get the braces on, at a certain height, go through just a series of wires, take the braces off on these easy cases, and let us finish with the aligners. Okay. And the patient's happy. The dentist now has a residual income or a steady stream of income, a cash flow from orthodontics. It's a supplemental income doing ortho now. So that's the advantage that a general dentist has over an orthodontist, is we rely on doing braces. We can't, most of us are like, I don't want to do general dentistry. I'm going to step on all my referrals' toes, right? But as a general dentist, you're going, look, I should be doing most of these. 2 out of 3 cases, I should be doing these, or half of them. I should be doing this instead of referring out. And I'm just going to tell you, it's the truth. And with COVID and how it's affected the pricing for everything, we need to be well aware that the pricing for orthodontics has got to come down. And using things like Smile Direct Club, knowing and Candid Co and these other companies, knowing that they really figured out direct to consumer aligners are good. It helps cut the cost down. It never really should be used as the first line of treatment. Braces should be the first line. But that flips when people have already been through braces before. They don't want braces again.
Right. I totally agree with that. And so I think one of the most important things about what you're saying is the fact that you said the orthodontist. Right. This is all applicable to not only the orthodontists and the students and the residents that are right now in the 1-year GPR AGD or looking to go into orthodontics. It's also applicable to just general dentists, And so general dentists can join the Forever Align Club and, learn how to do orthodontics with the clear aligners.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's really, aligners really made orthodontics so much easier, and it's really going to cut the cost down, because now, most these easy cases, an easy case is always an easy case. That probably can be done in a year or less. So we came up with 365-day braces. We call it 365 braces. And we have a way of, we have a widget that actually we can get a patient, we can market. We use our own marketing company to acquire the patient, and then we deliver that patient either to a general dentist or to an orthodontist. If it's a hard case, we look at it, and I'm going, me and my treatment coordinators and the other doctors that I'm working with here, we go, that's a hard case. It should go to an orthodontist. That's an easy case. It should go to a general dentist. And if there isn't one that wants to do it, we'll find an orthodontist. But we realize that we ought to be able to do the smile assessments ourselves as an industry. Invisalign had smile assessments online for a long time, and they said, take our smile assessment. So people would send in pictures and choose, hey, that looks like my bite and stuff. And so they'd submit it to Invisalign. You know what Invisalign did? They would go, yep, you're an Invisalign candidate. And they go look at it. They think everybody's an Invisalign candidate, right?
Of course.
I mean, so it's like, but after 25 years and I saw the data, I'm like, they lied to us. Most people should never have done Invisalign. Number one, it's way too expensive. It's inefficient. You rely on patient cooperation. Oh my God. I can tell you that is a nightmare. After 6 to 12 months, no. They come in and it's like, it doesn't really fit. And I'm going, you've been wearing it? Oh, I wear it 22 hours a day. I'm like, what am I going to do? Tell them they're lying? Yeah. I'm like, are you sure that's yours? It looks like it's something else's, right? And so then I got to scan them again. And then they're going to have to wait 6 or 8 weeks for more aligners. And then they're calling the office going, God, I'm taking a long time to get those aligners back. What's going on? They blame us. The problem is, the holdup is at the lab, Invisalign lab, they can't make them fast enough, because their whole business model is wrong. They should never send us all of them at one time. Send us a few, and let's just keep scanning and printing until the patient's happy. Much more efficient. You can control the cost a whole lot better. So we created a couple other platforms. One's called OrthoPaid, where we can help general dentists get paid. We do the billing and collections, handle all of the insurance form and everything. We make it super simple. The braces, they don't even have to carry an inventory of the braces. The patient buys the braces from us through Forever Line Club. We send the braces directly to either the patient that's going to come into your door or to the dentist. Doesn't matter, okay, to us. We need to know where we're sending the braces to. Now the dentist doesn't have to carry any inventory. The patient pays it and buys it from us. And we bundle it, because what do? We did the treatment plan on it, right? We did the marketing. So we're taking some of the money out of what patients pay versus what a doctor pays. We're trying to unbundle everything to make orthodontics as simple as possible for general dentists to do, because the future of orthodontics is, and I hate to say it because I'm an orthodontist, it's not in an orthodontist office, okay? There's gonna be too many of us on every corner pretty soon, and I just think that most stuff really could and should be treated in a general dentist practice. Right. And because we know marketing very well too, we realize that marketing using social media, which hopefully all of y'all are watching us on Instagram, Facebook, and everything else. I'll do a little TikTok at the end if you want me to, right? No, I won't. That's a scary thought. You won't be able to unsee that, okay? On TikTok. Although it could go viral, so maybe it's a good marketing tool. I don't know. But the future really is via those things. YouTube advertising, the bottom of YouTube. I mean, my kids are like, Dad, we don't subscribe to cable. We cut the cord a long time ago. They see the little pop-up ads on YouTube and Netflix or whatever. They're seeing all that stuff. So the future of marketing is really going through influencers and using drip campaigns and targeted ads and retargeted ads. And so we're heavy into that. So that is part of what we do. And I promise you, it's part of what Invisalign and Smile Direct Club are doing. But the problem is they control the message and where it goes and everything. And I'm going, look, guys, I've spent the last X number of years figuring out with my team, learning how to do online marketing and realize this stuff isn't that expensive. And I can watch what they're doing. I'm like, I can do that. And if I can do it, why don't I just do it for you guys? We, as a national brand, we have more power. That's all these companies are. They're national brands. If I held up a Smile Direct Club or a Candid Go aligner and an Invisalign aligner like this, could a patient tell the difference?
No.
Nope. Okay. So they're just brands. They've created a brand. I'm like, we got to come up with a national brand that we can all get behind. And so Forever Line Club, great membership company. Forever Aligners. There's another brand, right? Use Forever Aligners. Ask your doctor about Forever Aligners. Okay. Forever Retainers. Oh, I like these Forever brands. So we got a whole list of Forever brands that patients can request. The doctors get paid. These are your patients, not mine. They're your patients. But we've just really taken a lot of what these other companies have done and go, I can do that. I love copying other companies. When I see a good idea, I'm like, that's a good idea. Okay. I'm going to copy that, because good ideas they're really good ideas. There's not that many novel new ideas out there, but combining things sometimes you realize, these companies they're just aligner companies. We're way more than that. The data that we collect too, we're going to help our dentists, our industry, be able to take back control of a lot more things than just aligners. Okay. We will have a lot more control because we control the data and we'll be able to see buying habits from customers. And so while all of y'all are busy doing dentistry, because that's what we do, we're not good business people. We're not good at marketing. Hey, let's do a Facebook page. Okay. Look at Johnny. He got his braces on. Wow. 3 people looked at that one. It was both his grandparents and the lady down the street he delivers papers to. Right? That's not marketing. That's just, what is that? It's dumb, And you got, one of my assistants does it. What, does she keep up with it every day? Let me see. Oh, I forgot we fired her last month. She's not doing it anymore. I mean, who's checking on that? You can't do that. So we do that for our providers. We're like, look, we can do all this. If we join forces and do this together, we can be much bigger than if we stay individual and keep getting picked off by the companies that, like Invisalign says, oh, we'll do everything for you, unlimited aligners. Okay, $2,000 sounds like a great deal, right? All right, so go ahead and do 20 Invisalign patients, and you get a $2,000 bill on all 20 of those, and it's due in 30 days. You got 40 grand sitting around, and it's gonna be a long time before you pay that bill off. If the patient's paying you $200 a month, you'll get a profit next year. You're always behind the 8 ball financially when you buy into these unlimited aligner programs, because it wasn't the truth. You know, it was, they know it's not unlimited, but they tell us it's unlimited, but they didn't share that data with us. But there are a lot of us who know what that data is, and it's really not unlimited. Okay, they know exactly how many the average patient is going to use. You know, the very last thing is, and I think we're running out of time here, is, you know, we have an online consulting business where we will actually help tell a dentist, is this a patient you should treat or not treat? Okay, so out of your existing pool of patients, if they were interested in orthodontics, the patient pays for the membership, okay? And we do the assessment, and I can just tell you right now, without ever seeing your patients, that 2 out of every 3 patients you should be able to treat. So there's a really good chance that if you think somebody needs ortho and there's not a tooth in the palate and they're not like an extraction case or something, you should do it yourself, okay? And we're just gonna help basically just verify the fact this is somebody you should treat, okay? So we basically got a complete vertical business to help any dentist, in particular general dentists, do a whole lot more orthodontics, because, you know, like I said, the 3 things that people want: straight, clean, white teeth. You know, you ought to be in the orthodontic business, and you can't make money doing Invisalign paying $2,000 a patient up front. I promise you can't. Just do the math yourself, like I just said, okay? Sorry, I've been talking straight, but you guys got any questions for me?
No, that's okay. David, you mentioned a great thing about, it goes back to your hat, shift happens. There's a big shift that happened right now in the market. There's a big shift that happened in the world. There's a big shift that happened in the economy. Anything, you can go down the list. There's a big shift that's happening in general dentistry and in dentistry in general that encompasses orthodontics, all the specialties. When we create these ortho dentists that you're talking about as the future, just like the future is in drop shipping. You're talking about sending aligners directly to consumer. Why these great companies like Smile Direct Club, why they do great businesses, it's directly to the consumer. They love that. They love the Amazon-y feel of that. You know, click, 1 click, 2 click, and I got my aligners. You know what I mean? But the great thing about this, your Forever Align Club, and then later on our partnership we're going to talk about with American Aligner Society, is you use the word align, and we love this. You mentioned this before when we talked, is you use the word align to not just mean aligners as in clear aligners to give you those white straight teeth. Align can have a variety of different meanings. Aligning orthodontists with general dentists, aligning aligners that you use in your mouth, which is not just to get you those white, clean, straight teeth, the sleep aligners to clear your sleep apnea, you know, all these different things. We can use align in a lot of different forms. We are aligned together in this podcast interview. And it's wonderful, the shift that COVID and the shift that all these different things that have brought it upon the world, technology, we're allowed to take advantage of it. And this is the future. We're living the future right now.
And speaking of taking advantage, you're being very proactive, and like you're putting your little twist on things. You know, you have these great ideas, but you're making it your idea with your knowledge and experience. And that's just being someone who's taking advantage of their opportunity, which we find absolutely astonishing and awesome.
Thanks. You know, I believe in, you know, in paying it forward. And so, you know, I love dentistry. I mean, it's been a great career for me. I've learned a lot through the School of Hard Knocks. You know, my kids are reaping the benefit of all this stuff. They're like, hey, Dad, you didn't do that right, did you? I'm like, no. They're like, well, we're not going to do that because you didn't do it right. So, you know, I like the fact that anybody that wants to contact me, and, you know, they can, if they, you know, it's just email founder@foreverlineclub.com, founder@foreverlineclub.com. I can answer questions online. I'm happy to pick up the phone and talk to any dentists that got questions and stuff. But I really want to help just be a mentor to as many people as possible. You know, I have no ill feelings about Invisalign, Smile Direct Club, any of those companies. I'm not talking bad about them. just my opinion on a lot of this stuff. You know, is Invisalign still a great product? Absolutely. People will come in, they will demand Invisalign, okay? But make sure you get paid up front, okay? They'll hesitate when they got to pay the bill up front. If they want it, let them pay it, okay? And then you collect the profits right after that. Because you can straighten teeth with plastic. But if you're going to spend that much money on plastic that really isn't as efficient as braces, you really got to hesitate and go, maybe I should do braces first. And the data shows, yep, after 25 years, 93% of people still go through braces. There's a reason. Cooperation, cost. You know, the future is this little niche that we're creating now, which is a combination of braces and aligners. You know, start with braces, get them off as fast as you can. Tell the patient they're going to be on for 6 to 12 months. Most people are like, yeah, I can do that. Okay, take them off. I promise you, when we filter the cases, you'll get really the easy ones to treat, and they can be your own patients or new patients. You know, either way, we do online advertising, we do in-office advertising. We have countertop displays and pop-up lobby banners out there with QR codes. People can watch our, you know, here's the 1 minute, you know, basically commercial saying, what is Forever Line Club? Scan this while you're sitting there. Oh, I like that. I want that. Okay. Scan the other QR code and buy the membership. Okay. And they walk up front. I bought my membership. Can I go ahead and start? Okay. Now I just saved you the expense of anybody at the front desk having to sell those memberships, didn't I? Have it in your exam room and have your treatment coordinator or your hygienist go, you should think about this. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the new way of doing things. Buy the membership. You know, it's direct to consumer, everything. It really makes a lot of sense. There's really no holes in this, which is why, you know, we have the IP on a lot of the stuff. You know, we've thought this through for a number of years, and we've got something that a lot of people are extremely interested in.
Absolutely. Sorry. It's just efficient and a more modern approach to, you know, starting new cases and getting new patient inflow and all that stuff. And it's, I really do think, I think you guys might agree, it's something that is definitely going to be the future.
Case acceptance, number one.
Case acceptance. But so David, one of the things here we preach on Dental Student Vibes is helping others and help bring up our profession. And that's one of the things that we respect most about you is what you're doing for our profession. So thank you for everything. So you said founder at, tell me the email and the website one more time.
Founder at foreveralignedclub.com. Okay. Founder at foreveralignedclub.com. And you guys could probably post it on some of your social media posts too.
It'll be everywhere. Definitely. So don't even worry about that.
And everyone that's listening, please stay tuned. We have for next Friday, which is July 31st, we have part 2 of this web series with Dr. Carter. It's going to be a partnership with Dental Student Vibes, Forever Align Club, and American Aligner Society. So please stay tuned.
So, David, can you give us a 1 minute on that?
All right. So, yes. So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to have a deeper dive. We'll get into more specifics. That's why I'm sure I'll probably get a lot of emails from anybody watching this video that goes, I got a question. Great. This will be question and answer time. We'll be able to actually show you the platform, show you how it works. You know, we'll have a registration page, so we want to know who you are when you come on. You know, I want to do this for dentists. I don't need a bunch of these other companies coming on and going, I'm a doctor. Really? Give me your license number. Like, they don't need to know where our fishing hole is, do they? Yeah. That's for us to know as dentists. This is our fishing hole. You know, I've stocked it full of fish for all you dentists. Okay. And so if you want to come fish, sign up for the webinar and we'll do a deeper dive. And we're going to have a series of these things that'll be live and recorded that the American Aligner Society has graciously offered to put on. And you guys too with Dental Student Vibes. I appreciate you guys. You know, I think that before any of you dental students or dentists just recently graduated get too far down the road, I'm going to put up a lot of like yellow warning lights going, don't do what I did. Don't learn through the school of hard knocks. I promise you, it's painful, okay? And, you know, setting up management corporations, we'll teach you how to do that. You know, we'll actually do it for you. That's what Blair does. Sets up the corporations and helps you do that. You know, we signing up providers that provide OrthoPaid or you know, Forever Align Club. You know, if you want us to market for you, you know, we have RVO Digital Marketing, which is our marketing company. Clear Ortho Solutions is just basically, it's a turnkey solution for general dentists. We do all the online assessments, evaluations, treatment planning, everything. It's when you think about it, it's what I wish if I was a dentist and I found out about this before I went to ortho. I'm like, I don't need to be an orthodontist. I can be an orthodontist, right?
There you go. That's what it is.
So anyway, well, listen, I know I've probably reached my hour-long time. And by the way, I did all this with one breath. Can you believe that?
That's amazing. Champion.
So thank you guys for hosting this for us. We appreciate it. I'm looking forward to more talks with you guys and with, everybody that's watching this stuff. Again, if anybody wants to contact me directly, they can via email. And if they have other questions, they can do it that way. Otherwise, we'll be sending out a registration page on Monday where people can start signing up for next Friday's meeting. And like I said, this will be a series of webinars because there's no way I can talk about all this stuff in just an hour. So we're going to feature a deeper dive on each one of the different platforms that we've created. And then doctors can figure out, yeah, I need to do that. Yeah, I need to do that. By the end of the talk, they're going to go, I probably should do all this stuff. I'm like, you probably should. It makes more sense if you just let us do everything for you because it's what we've done for 30 years. The treatment part of it, the dentist needs to do the treatment part of it. There's no way these direct-to-consumer aligner companies can really have much control. That's why we do 5 aligners at a time because every 10 weeks, patient wears an aligner for 2 weeks. Every 10 weeks, they come back in. And even if you don't have a 3D intraoral scanner, if you just take impressions and send models to us, we'll scan those models and do it for you. And you get paid for a scan of the teeth or for the models because we'll scan for you for free, okay? But we'll scan. So that's how you stay in control of these cases. You scan as you go, you treat as you go, you pay as you go. If somebody goes, look, I need to wait before I can do my next set of aligners. Great. Just wear your last aligner as a retainer. And then whenever you want to start back up, let me know. And we'll take another impression or another scan, send it in to Forever Line Club, and off they go again. All right?
Taking it step by step and the ball in their court. But we're looking forward to next Friday. We'll bring the bait because we're going to go fishing. We're looking forward to it, David.
Yes, sir. Shift happens.
All right, everybody.
Let's get everyone aligned.
Yes, sir. All right, David. Thanks so much again. Take care. We're super pumped, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, Vibe Tribe. This is your boy, Matt Havis, and we hope that you enjoyed this very special interview with Dr. David Carter. He is the Ortho Prophet and the creator of Forever Align Club. So, as always, check them out on their website at foreveralignedclub.com and follow us on Instagram at dental.student.vibes and leave us a comment, like, review. Let's make this the greatest podcast we can for you. We hope you enjoyed this interview. Dr. David Carter dropped some serious knowledge on us. Listen once, listen twice. Make sure you get everything you can out of this because this is uncut information that everybody needs to know to be successful in dentistry. As always, be safe and vibe on. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by the Dental Student Vibes LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply any endorsement of them or any entity they represent.